listening to this week's astrology forecast, September 1st through September 6th, Monday through Saturday. I'm going to do a separate video for the 7th, which is the full moon lunar eclipse. I think that day deserves a video of its own, mainly because there's just a lot to get in with it, so I don't want this video to be too long. So we are going to go ahead and go into the astrology of this week. It is a pretty big week, September 1st through the 7th. And if you are looking, just a little PSA announcement, if you are looking to learn a little bit more about astrology, I did just launch your First Astrology Course is what it's called. It's a beginner's astrology course on sale, early bird sale right now. First class will begin September 21st, but I basically take you from zero to being able to take these types of astrology readings that you hear online or read in newspapers and apply it more to your own personal chart and your own personal life. So I teach you how to simply pull up your birth chart, what the planets, houses, and signs mean, how to kind of put it all together, what your big three are, teach you a little bit about those, your big three, and then teach you how to take listening to something like this and applying it to your own life, so that you don't have to rely on astrologers and can get more in-depth out of these types of readings. So link for that will be in the description below. Like I said, it is on early bird discount right now for a pretty deep discount, so I hope you will join me. Anyway, so let's get into it. Today, Monday, September 1st, we have Saturn retrograde entering back into Pisces. So with this, we're getting a chance until February 13th of next year, February 2026. So we're getting about 5 months to review any of the Saturn and Pisces themes that we need to clean up and leave behind. So overall, like, Saturn is about boundaries, right? Saturn is either where we have too many boundaries or not enough. And Pisces, often in our chart, is where we maybe struggle, a place where we struggle with boundaries. So this is us getting a chance to see if there's any area that we need to finish setting up boundaries or tearing down. Perhaps we've overcompensated and we have like walls up that don't need to be there anymore, because Pisces is also kind of our subconscious thought patterns that rule and govern our lives that we are not aware of sometimes. And sometimes they can leave us with these walls that, you know, were a self-preservation mechanism in childhood that no longer really has a place for us in our current lives. It's outlived its purpose of protecting us, and now it's potentially causing more harm than good. So what walls do we need to finish tearing down, and what walls do we need to build back up, or boundaries do we need to have? And having had Saturn in Aries should have given us a little idea of kind of where we want to go, where we envision our life going forward. And now we're getting a chance to kind of go backward and figure out what we need to do, what we need to finish closing out, or building up in order to move forward in the most appropriate way. It's also interesting because we've had all of this energy, a lot of energy leaving and closing out Pisces. It is the last sign of the zodiac, right? So it does have this cleansing out, letting go energy to it, with, you know, especially with Saturn and Neptune leaving there at the same time and kind of being seated at this beginning Aries point. Yet the North Node is here. So on one hand, we have a lot of energy and a lot of closing out of the Pisces energy, which I think overall, with how big this Pisces Aries transition is, I think it's overall like closing out the Pisces cycle and start an age, and really, you know, us moving into the age of Aquarius. I think so there's a lot of closing out of that energy, but not all of Pisces is bad, right? So we have the North Node here, and I see this as a closing out somewhat of old religious structures, right? Saturn in Pisces is religious structures. Pisces is also kind of religious structures, organized religion, perhaps Saturn structure, Pisces religion and spirituality. Also an end, hopefully, to a lot of the propaganda and illusions put forth by our governments. Hopefully that's what this 5 months will bring, is an end to that, to closing of that. But with the North Node here, we're also being guided to still hold on and almost double down on being able to learn to trust in the unknown and unseen, and lean more heavily into our intuition and inner knowing. And with Saturn here, helping us to be able to learn that discernment, and help us to develop also grounding in these concepts that might, right, like Pisces is a little bit out here, it's intangible, so Saturn is helping us to be able to figure out how to ground in these concepts that we need to take with us forward into the future, how to ground in a little bit more of our own spirituality and things like that. And then, you know, I think there is a lot of spiritual awakening going on too, and Saturn, I think, is developing us, helping us develop, learning how to ground in that faith, and ground in the not knowing, and ground in the trust that everything will be okay, and maybe even how to trust and be discerning on how to take action on any nudges or psychic hits or anything like that, any way that our intuition is guiding us to move forward. Maybe Saturn is here helping us figure out how to bring those things into the future. That is the Monday the 1st. So it's a big energy. It's one of those energies that's going to be with us for the next 5 months. So closing out what needs to be closed out, boundaries, things of that nature. Then Tuesday, September 2nd, Mercury will enter Virgo. This is its home sign. And now it's really picking up speed. It was in Leo. It was being slow and had a retrograde and everything like that. It was in Leo for all of July and August. But now it's only going to be in Virgo until September 18th. And then we'll change signs again at the beginning of October. So it's really moving fast, which means that our mind will definitely be moving fast as well. So, you know, maybe keep a journal. Any ideas that you have coming in, jot them down so you don't forget them, because they're going to be coming in fast. Overall Mercury themes, now that Mercury is direct and out of its shadow period, Mercury themes should be going better. So communication should be more clear. Technology should be working a little bit better. Travel, things like that. All those things. Our thought processes should be a little bit more clear. So that we should be on smoother cylinders. And with Mercury being in Virgo, similar to the Sun being in Virgo and Virgo season, our mind will be focused on the organization, the tasks, the habits, the routines, our pets, details, and Virgo also rules health. So we might be really focused on our health right now too. So it's a great time to get any of these things in order over the next couple weeks. Like if there's a new routine that you want to do, if you feel like you need to change your diet up or something like that, if these types of thought processes are coming in, this is a great time to figure out how to do that. So then Wednesday, September 3rd, Mercury in Virgo will be squaring Uranus in Gemini. So I'm immediately feeling that this day has a potential for having a lot of anxiety. It may manifest also as tummy aches, as Virgo rules the digestive system. And this is because Mercury rules both Virgo and Gemini. And Mercury, as we know, is very mind-oriented. And Virgo and Gemini are also both very mind and mental oriented. And then Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So it's a lot of mental, this square, which is a challenging aspect, is a lot of mental activity going on. So this could bring sudden information, sudden inspiration, sudden insight, sudden communication, sudden uncovering of information, new thought processes, things like that. Sudden disruptions as well with Uranus. And with the square, so there could be disruptions to our routines, our commutes, our neighborhood. There could be shocking information that comes forward and panic attacks because like Uranus, all Uranus, Mercury, Gemini, Virgo, it all kind of rules our nervous system. So there's a lot of activity going on with our nervous system, which is kind of why I feel like it's could be a high anxiety with a lot of gut, either anxiety overall or manifesting as gut troubles that day. So just be careful today, be mindful, try to take things slow, work on your deep breathing, really work through if you have these things coming up. Could also be Virgo, rules like healthcare, and Gemini and Uranus are like technology and things like that. So there might be something coming up collectively with technology or healthcare, which could be interesting. But overall, just keep in mind that it might be an electrically charged day, literally in your nervous system. So just take it easy. Thursday, September 4th, we have Mars in Libra squaring Jupiter in Cancer, and also Jupiter will be trining the North Node. So first I want to look at Jupiter in Cancer trining the North Node in Pisces. So Jupiter is the modern ruler of Pisces, so he rules the North Node. So, and Jupiter in Cancer is exalted, which enhances Jupiter enhances anything it touches, right? And Cancer is our nurturing, both in giving and receiving nurturing. So it brings a lot of emotional fulfillment, and so maybe expansion, we're being called to expand our compassion. The Mars in Libra square, so Jupiter's trining the North Node, so everything's harmonious there. But then Mars in Libra is squaring Jupiter, which may be giving us an opportunity to act on that expansive compassion that we are having with the trine. So maybe there's something with Mars that's being triggered, that's triggering this, causing more balance in the home. Cancer represents the home. Or politically, something with boundaries. Or Mars maybe just acting on a legal matter or something, because Libra can be legal matters. Like maybe there's something that is requiring us to act on something. And squares don't always have to be bad, but they do generally indicate some tension and some action. But like I've talked about in other videos, a lot of times when you have trines, it's great energy, great supportive energy. So there's this wonderful energy going on between Jupiter and the North Node, wanting to bring us opportunities, wanting to bring us gifts. And maybe it's a blessing that we have this little bit of a challenge going on with Mars squaring Jupiter, causing us to balance something out, but taking action and really bringing the beauty of this trine and seeing opportunities that we may not have seen had this challenge not come into our awareness. So something is happening here, but with the North Node in involvement and with Jupiter's involvement, it is definitely for the best. So take that for what it's worth. Friday, not much is going on besides some moon movements. And then Saturday, September 2nd, Uranus will be stationing retrograde in Gemini. So now we have Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde. So as Uranus rules Aquarius, those with Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising signs, you may be feeling a little bit more sluggish, a little bit more run down, especially because you have both modern and traditional rulers retrograde, Saturn and Uranus. So that would be normal. It will be retrograde until February 2026. So we've got a while to work with this energy as well. Anytime a planet is in retrograde motion, it turns our energy inward. So Uranus is where we want liberation, where we want to do something different, to make our own path, to be inventive, to be creative, to step out of the box. And Gemini is duality in its nature, so there are multiple options. There's polarities. It also represents like neighborhoods and communities. It's very social. Gemini is communicative. It's social media. It's auto and transportation, short distance travel, tech advances, commerce, things like that. So there could be something, something that we're, this 5 months retrograde gives us a chance to rethink all of these things, both at a bigger picture level, but also like in society and how society is going, but also on a more personal level. It gives us a chance to kind of go into hermit mode, especially with all these outer planets retrograde, and do some like major internal work before we're ready to really show the new and improved versions of us. So with all these planets being retrograde, it kind of gives us a chance to go in hermit mode, do the internal work, and figure out how we want to emerge when these planets start in turning direct and changing back into the signs that they're going to be in for the next several years, and really, how we want to move forward. We've gotten a little taste of all these planets being retrograde and having moved into their new signs, and now they're all moving retrograde, going back into the previous sign for a little bit, so we can kind of rehash, figure out what we need to close out and move forward, what we need to leave behind, what we need to take with us in the best ways possible, and how we want to emerge the new and improved versions of us at the end of 2025 and going into 2026 and 2027, because it's kind of this new collective that we are creating together in society, as well as the new versions of us, is kind of this slow and steady process. So right now we're getting the opportunity to really dive into ourselves and figure out who we want to be going forward and what we want this world to look at. So that is the week leading up to the eclipse. And then, like I said, I will be doing a video later this week on the eclipse itself which will be on September 7th, this Sunday. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a like, a comment, a subscribe. Let me know how this week is going for you. Let me know how things manifest for you. Also, let me know if you have any questions or anything that I can answer about my course coming up. Link for the description will be in the comments below. Also, this month I am starting a new Patreon group where it's going to be like a monthly membership, where I am going to be, the main benefit will be that you get a 20-minute birth chart reading every month that you are a Patreon member, and every month I'll be diving into a different topic, different area of the natal chart, and exploring what that means. I'll be giving you a 20-minute personal reading, and then I may do a live reading as well, where we can look at some various different other charts and talk, talk it through. So help you learn together, learn your own chart, learn your own energy, and through the process be able to learn to read for others as well. But so if you would like to be part of that community, get a new 20-minute deep dive into your personal birth chart every month, I would love to have you join me there. I believe this first month the topic that I'm going to cover is just looking simply at the elemental balance in our charts, whether your personal chart is well-rounded in the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, or whether you are dominant in one or two or lack one or two, and kind of what that means and what it doesn't mean. And then looking at chart examples to see that, it's not always just as simple as looking at that. There's the bigger picture and how to kind of look at that and navigate that and see what it means for you personally. So if you want to join that, link in the comments below as well. And if you do enjoy this content and want me to be able to keep producing it, but aren't ready to either join my First Astrology Course, your First Astrology Course, or the Patreon membership, but do want to support me a little bit, even a couple dollars here and there goes a long way. I would love to have your support, so there's a link to buy me a cup of coffee in the description box below. I hope you have a wonderful week, and until my full moon lunar eclipse video comes out, have a great week, and I will see you then. Bye.